Daniel gripped the steering wheel, squinting through the torrents of rain as his wipers fought a losing battle. The city streets were nearly deserted, save for the occasional car splashing through puddles. He had just picked up groceries, thinking of the warm meal he'd prepare for his daughter, Lily, who was waiting at home. The comforting thought kept him pushing through the dreary weather. As he turned onto a quieter road, a faint shape caught his eye. Under a flickering street lamp stood a figure, drenched from head to toe. Her shoulders were hunched, and her arms clutched something close, though it was hard to tell if it was a bag or simply herself. The wind whipped at her scrubs, the fabric plastered against her skin, and even through the heavy curtain of rain, Daniel could see the way she trembled. For a split second, he considered driving past, telling himself someone else might help. But then he caught the glint of tears streaming down her pale face, mingling with the rain. Something inside him tugged hard he couldn't just leave her there. Slowing to a stop, Daniel rolled down his window and leaned out into the cold. "Hey, are you okay?" he called over the pounding rain. The woman looked up, startled, her lips parting as if to speak, but only a choked sound escaped. Her eyes were wide, haunted, and filled with something deeper than just the discomfort of being soaked. That was the moment Daniel realized this wasn't someone merely caught in bad weather. Something was terribly wrong. Rain poured as the single dad pulled his car over near a lonely bus stop, where he'd spotted a woman in a nurse's uniform, soaked to the skin and visibly trembling. Concerned, he stepped out with an umbrella and gently asked if she needed help. Hesitant but with nowhere else to go, she nodded. He brought her to his modest home, offering her a towel, dry clothes, and a warm drink. The silence was thick until he softly asked what had happened. Sitting under the low light of a small lamp, she finally spoke. Her voice was shaky, but honest. Just days ago, her apartment had burned down in an accidental fire. She'd barely escaped with her life and the clothes on her back. Worse still, her emergency savings hidden in her apartment had been lost in the flames. With no family nearby and no friends to turn to, she had wandered the city in despair. The only thing she hadn't lost was her job as a nurse at the local hospital. She clung to it, the last fragile thread keeping her grounded. Listening quietly, the dad didn't interrupt. He just nodded, understanding that sometimes people break quietly, without a sound. She ended her story with a whisper. "I didn't know where else to go." He looked at her with empathy and said, "Well, you've got a place to rest tonight."